I think that I want to be brief because I want to hear our speakers, but I'll just say a word that Anna queued up there. Why would the Vice President for Energy and Climate at the United Nations Foundation be co-leading a session on the future city? And I'm sure we will hear over the course of the day some of the obvious answers to that. The world is urbanizing very rapidly, will soon be 70% in cities. So if you want to tackle the problem of energy and climate, you have to think very carefully about how that plays out in cities. Some people who don't pay a lot of attention to this area might think, oh, cities are so full of demand for power and the traffic and everything else. And you might think cities are a problem. This is a bad thing that we're all urbanizing. But in point of fact, the opposite is the case. By densifying our space, the city actually helps address energy problems by being much more efficient energy use. I'm sure this may be too obvious to state, but you can think of just living in an apartment building as opposed to a single-family house. If you have to heat and cool a single-family house, you have to deal with the whole structure. If you're in even a same-size apartment, you will have 3 of your 4 walls essentially heated by your neighbors, plus your floor and ceiling. So everything becomes more efficient. There's actually less motor vehicle use, et cetera. So cities are a big part of the answer. We are deeply engaged in an initiative with the United Nations and the World Bank called Sustainable Energy for All, which has 3 goals for 2030. Universal access to modern energy services, doubling the share of renewable energy, and doubling the rate of improvement in energy efficiency. And the latter 2 goals particularly apply in the more developed world, because if we want to change the trajectory of our climate emissions, we have to do it where the energy is already being used, and that's in the industrialized world. On the energy efficiency side, we are reaching out to cities and states, mayors and governors to be the leaders in what we call energy efficiency accelerators. We've talked about energy efficiency for a long time. We have a lot of good policies on the books. Now the challenge is to implement those policies, get deals made, get our street lighting replaced with LED bulbs, for example. Makes sense anywhere in the world. Retrofit our building stock and build properly as the many new cities are built and certainly expanded. So that's my context. I think we'll hear a little bit about that, and if not, I'm on the last panel and I'll force it down your throat. So with that, Anna, why don't we get on with the program, and thank you all for being here today.